Good afternoon, everybody. Here we are, another glorious day of Dota 2. Just the one series today, but a very important one for both teams, as we have 9Pandas taking on OneMove and Waga. OneMove in a situation where, they need every victory they can through this league, and 9Pandas looks like they're sitting pretty at the top for now.
Yeah, they are. I mean, 9Pandas, they're 1Pandas, 9 moves. Not 9Pandas. I mean, we're expecting them to come in here and be the stronger team, right, in this matchup. Yes. There's no secret. They have been looking phenomenal overall. I think they're definitely probably the strongest team here in the entire Eastern European DPC. And going against OneMove here, OneMove have proven that they are a step above some of the teams that they played against so far. They have been doing really well. I think they've impressed me quite a lot. We've seen especially their mid player stand out a lot. Einkrad, who's a great Tinker and Timber player, among other things. Oh. And it's interesting, right, Gareth, because they're going up against 9Pandas who have Kiyotaka here. So This match, this is one for the Tinker nerds.
It sure is. And we were discussing potential first phase bans, what kind of combos you get with this Tinker, what kind of contested heroes we'll have in that first phase of drafting in particular. But I don't know, your little hiccup there with the 1Pandas, it reminded me, we've had a fair few games where I've had the same thing. We had 9Pandas against EG, so we had a player called Panda against 9Pandas. Oh. And then, of course, we had Tundra against them as well, so we had 9 against 9Pandas. Not the favorite for play-by-play casters for the tongue twisters.
You should cast it together with T-Panda as well, get him on the panel.
Yeah, get all the pandas together. But yeah, I think you're right. Tinker's definitely going to be up there in pick priority. One of those cheesy heroes that can just take control of the game when you've got such a skilled mid laner, like you're mentioning both these teams, very adept at just grabbing the hero and go along with it. Is there anything you need in your draft to supplement the Tinker, or is he good just on his own?
I think the important thing going into a draft for this game, Gareth, is going to be what you do about the fact that Tinker is on both these teams' radar in such a big way. It's not just about how do you enable him, but what can you take away to prevent Tinker from being easily stopped if you have the first phase pick, if you want to even first pick it. Like, it is that important for these players. If it looks like a good Tinker game in terms of which 4 heroes are banned in the first phase, no doubt they're going to want to play it. So stuff that you want against him is usually something like Beastmaster for the Roar, be able to scout him out with a Hawk. Also works well with Tinker. So Beastmaster, a great ban here for either if you want to pick Tinker for yourself and you don't want to get countered, or if you don't want the opponent to pick Tinker as well, then you could say that this can be an option, but then you need to have a great way to deal with him that is not Beastmaster. So stuff like Doom, something that actually allows you to get on top, because what we see with Tinker is just the issue. Once he has BKB and Shivas, there's no stopping him. He just blinks around and does whatever he wants. The overwhelming blink usually added later on. But BKB plus Shivas and Blink Dagger, Tinker is just nightmare to deal with. And in the hands of these players, it could definitely get out of hands. But we'll see how they're going to draft. I theorycraft that like Doom and Beastmaster should be high importance here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we'll get ourselves into the draft to see how that all pans out. Because, like you're saying, we've seen Clockwork as a hero that's somewhat of an answer to Tinker, but as the game progresses, becomes less and less so. Storm Spirit might be up there in terms of ban priority, or like a counter pick to try and get on top of him, be a scaling core that can actually do the job, which is often what you need. But there we have Doom, Medusa, both banned out. And then you've got the usual suspects who you also have to have in the back of your mind, the Kotl, the Alchemist, and apparently the Magnus 9Pandas take out, along with that Techies, Antares Techies is always a very fearful prospect to be playing into.
Yep, definitely. Makes a lot of sense that they removed that, so that does leave the Beastmaster to slip through. The Magnus ban by 9Pandas there is not surprising as well. It's been rising in popularity, being played a lot as both a mid, offlane, or carry. Literally any of the 3 core roles, Magnus can do it. He is a universal hero after all. He should be universal in which role he takes, right? No, but the hero just farms incredibly fast. And there we go. A nice, comfortable opening here for 9Pandas, getting their hands on Beast. Now, if Tinker is picked by OneMove, they have a good answer for it themselves. But OneMove don't want to slip the Tinker to 9Pandas as well, because that's a combo already.
Yeah, it's a pretty wild draft situation, right? Like, do we go Bounty Hunter Tinker like we've seen so much in Eastern Europe? Do we want to grab that now? And you're saying you don't want to let it go through to 9Pandas for that second pick, because then they've got the blanket bans afterwards, right? They can protect the Tinker with triple bans.
Yeah,
Timber
they could.
time.
So they go for the Timber. Again, Eincrad was dominating on his Timber before. We saw him pretty much just put the game on his own shoulders. Had some amazing plays around the Aghanim Scepter, actually, which looked amazing in that game. It does have a drawback, by the way. I don't know if it should be this way, but Timbersaw Aghanims is dispellable. You can literally just throw a dispel at him. It explodes immediately, and then it stops. It doesn't remove the fact that he got, you know, a lot of his reactive charges, but it does stop the barrier entirely. So maybe grabbing an early dispel in some way, Yule Scepter, or picking a hero that could dispel can be nice.
That's pretty cool. I just completely demolished that 4,000 gold item that he has to buy to get it. Now the thinking has begun for 9Pandas. Do we do it to them? Do we grab the Kiyotaka Tinker now? I feel like Tinker's good against Timber, decent against Crystal Maiden with your nuke damage, but they say no, Skywrath Mage.
Yeah, they're leaving it. Maybe, you know, it will get banned in the second phase, who knows, but Sky is a great reaction to both these heroes. It's very good to stop the freezing field. You have the silence on Skywrath, nice long duration, instantaneous cast, great for stopping CM, but also it can be a full uptime silence with the talent, and that can hard counter Timber entirely, and it pairs up with Beastmaster. So this Skywrath fits the game like a glove. It's just the perfect pick. So maybe they say, you know, Tinker could have worked here, but this is just stronger. They're gonna ban out the Bounty Hunter themselves here.
Yeah, making sure it doesn't swing back the other way. I'm wondering what the conversation was there. As like Kiyotaka saying, guys, it's first game of the day. You know, let's chill, let's relax. I don't want to be stressed out already in match 1, giving me the Tinker to carry the game. We'll see what happens though.
Assuming that Tinker players don't just wake up like robots and just start spamming 600 APM.
Get in that demo mode.
Yeah, I think the bounty ban could also just be not just about the bounty Tinker combo, but just bounty against Skywrath is really great. Sky has no armor at all, and bounty does a ton of right-click damage with Janata. If you skill Invis and you get Janata, you can bully Skywrath in laning stage. Just get some magic stick and a little bit of tangles. You'll survive the harassment that Skywrath does back, and bounty can actually shut out the Sky from a lane with that.
Yeah, and he's one of those heroes that really can help some of these Timber-like heroes bridge the gap from laning stage into mid-game. Because you can, often see if the Timber doesn't completely pop off, has a decent laning stage, that next 10 minutes can be a bit weird deciding where to be, where to go. I mean, you mentioned the Eincrad match we had before where he was just diving towers looking for kills, and Bounty Hunter really enables that, so you can play as this, 3-4-man unit with Maiden, Bounty, Timber, and play aggressively. Give yourself a pocket of space behind you for someone else to farm.
Yeah, it does pair really well. That's a good point you make. Pairs really well with the Timbersaw and the way that he wants to fight non-stop. Doesn't have any long ulti cooldowns, so Bounty is great for that type of chaotic Dota style. Another thing, though, is that this Bounty ban, it does actually still shield their own Tinker pick in a way, because tracking Tinker is a great way to at least be able to chase him down a little bit. And it has to be on the mind of both these teams. We're coming back to this a lot, but there's a reason. These are two of the best Tinker players in the world that you're seeing here. These are very, very strong contestants here. Though I think Eincrad more likely going to be taking up the Timbersaw in this game. It's still on the table for Kiyotaka, and it's not being banned. They're going for the Slark ban here, going for something that maybe signals that this could be an off-lane Timbersaw. If you ban out the Bloodseeker and the Slark, maybe this is not going to be a mid Timber. Maybe it's off.
Yeah, I mean, if they ban Ursa now, then maybe even more credence to that thought. But I guess just the fact that it's flexible coming out that first phase always feels really nice. Yeah. Oh yeah, Monkey's out there too.
They might ban any of those two, and then possibly the other one will be what they might have to face. This could also just be signaling what type of an offlaner they want to run. Perhaps it's going to be a hero that struggles against all this, and Timber could still be mid. But at least it's giving a bit of insight to what Monmove are doing here. On the side of 9Pandas, though, they are banning out the Pangolier, which would also be a chaotic, like, team fight, non-stop aggression type hero, and Spirit Breaker as well. So every single ban 9Pandas did are addressing this hyper aggression. They're expecting one move to want to take the fight to them, and meanwhile perhaps they are having an idea of taking this game a little bit slower or controlling the map a little bit more.
Yeah, just calm things down a little bit. I mean, I think one move in this situation, getting 2-0'd by Nemiga last night, has probably rustled them a little bit, thinking, hey, we can't be dropping series like that. We are now desperate to take games and take series wins off of a team like 9Pandas. Yeah, there is the Ursa bounce. You said they left in the Monkey King.
Yep.
Is there a chance they just take it themselves to make sure the opponents don't get it, or you're kind of happy to be like, you'll get it if you need it?
I don't think you want to play Monkey against the Beast Skyrath, though. That matchup could be a little bit tricky. I think almost that they need something with great sustain and laning stage. I think maybe they're waiting here a little bit. This is a waiting pick. You pick up the Mirana, gives them a little bit of vision, in the form of the arrow and the Invis, because so far their team was seriously lacking in vision and advantage of initiation. And CM and Mirana, pretty classic combo as well, having those two. It's not bad. On the side of 9Pandas, though, now they have to show their cards a little bit here. I expect they don't want to pick their carry. They might go for it. Maybe they will just say that, okay, we can pick the Monkey, because obviously you don't want to lane against a Slark, an Ursa, a Bloodseeker. Monkey is good against the same type of heroes, and just pair that up with something here.
Dire team pick.
Could also see Disruptor, I think.
Oh, it's the solo hero.
Oh yeah, that's a lane bully right there.
Radiant team pick.
We saw a really sad Timbersaw against Undying recently, didn't we? It was some real
Undying
bullying.
Just 1v2 solo zoning a pair of offlane heroes. There's some nasty stuff. And Wind Ranger now, so adding a bit more disable control against this Timber Mirana, but also the fact that, Universal Hero with Gleipnir against Timbersaw, Focus Fire just shreds through his physical protection. And
it's a flex. She can be 1, she can be 2. She can go either of those positions. Carry Windrunner is not weird in the current patch. Saw one of the... I managed to catch like a unicorn in the wild, I found a rare RTC stream and he was playing some Carry Windrunner as well, The hero is finding popularity on different roles. So this combo, if it's Windrunner plus Undying safe lane, that's super strong. That's very tough to go against. I definitely think Sky and Beast will go together. Now it's just a matter of what they flex. And like I said, they go for a sustainability carry, because against Beastmaster and Sky, you need some form of healing. Chaos Knight has that built in his crits. You can just keep hitting creeps, so you can get HP back.
Yeah, pretty solid to play against that Sky, like you were mentioning, the low armor squishy hero. Can get jumped and caught with 2 stuns in that safe lane. Plenty of control to dish out your damage. I'm just looking at this offlane now for one move and thinking, with the Mirana, usually they've paired it up with the Doom, the Magnus, the Beastmaster. The Alchemist was like the 4th one they've picked a couple of times. And with 3 of those heroes removed, is Mirana Timber a lane that you want to be playing? Or are we waiting for the last pick to decide what we're doing?
I think with the fact that there's now an Undying, I would put mid Timber, honestly. Then you completely dodge that, and CK is a strength hero, but most likely Undying will be on the safe lane, and Skyrath will be against the CK. So then the Undying could lose a lot of his value. If he's not against the strength hero, he loses his value. I mean, I guess Timber is universal, but he kind of counts as a strength hero because he needs his HP that badly. I still... Undying is still great against Timbersaw. The damage loss being slightly lower is not really relevant in that. So ultimately, I would say mid Timbersaw, and then offlane, maybe something like a Visage even, Throw some tempo, some push, and also good fighting would fit their draft really well, and lane decently against Windrunner plus Undying. Mirana Visage, it has a lot of right click. Undying can't bully that at least. But 9Pandas still banning out Spirit heroes, so they're expecting that this is going to be a mid hero coming up last, and they're thinking it's an offlane Timber. Maybe that's a trap, who knows?
Yeah, maybe it is. And Nagasaran banned by 1 move, so still that flexibility of the Wind Ranger, making sure that they've got options down the line, and the double Spirit bans there. Yeah. The only other hero that Afterlife has played that isn't already picked or banned is Darkseer, so it's going to be a new hero completely, or grab that Timbersaw for him. I don't think he's played yet. It really has been Ironclad grabbing it so far this tour.
Yeah, I mean, he played it so phenomenally, so maybe you're not going to flex it at all. Perhaps it's guaranteed to be him all the way. It's just a lot of teams really enjoy flexing picks as well, so we'll see exactly how they want to go. But 9Pandas, this is looking more and more like a mid-Wind Ranger, by the way, with the bans that we see here as well. Ember and Void Spirit are two heroes that Wind Ranger does not lane very well against. They have great solutions to her. The Sleight of Fist does a lot of damage due to her low armor. Void Spirit has damage block with his E, which makes Wind Ranger unable to harass him enough, and his last hits are really strong. So I think that this is going to be a mid-Wind Ranger, and the ban on Naga was probably very intelligent here. Naga pairs really well against Chaos Knight, and even though Timber has some pure damage, it can be tough to deal with Naga illusions.
And now the Morphling gone as well. So, what's Ramsey's going to be looking at then here? Like, is Terrorblade okay, or are you just facing too much magic damage and pure damage to think about that kind of hero? Do you want an illusion hero?
I mean, TB is really bad against CM and Timber. It's good against CK, but I don't think you go for it. Oh!
So it is, you were right in the end, yeah.
Okay, so I mean, now still the bans make sense. The Ember and Void Spirit are not great for Invoker to lane against either, but it's going to be the safe lane Wind Ranger most likely then. An Invoker on the mid lane, you want that solo experience. So definitely they were doing a little bit of a debate, and we'll see now if one move are honest or not. Is this going to be just, you know, your mid or off lane Timber?
Mid Ricky?
Okay, yeah, it's a mid Ricky. So Aincrad is not playing the Timber indeed, and it was a bit of a debate the entire way as well.
Yeah, both teams are the bait and switch, like, you know, dangling this Timber sword, dangling the Wind Ranger in front of you, and then switching it right at the end. So the last pick, ultimate last pick, Ricky, against that Invoker, going to feel pretty good for Aincrad. And we've seen how quickly this Ricky can scale with his Diffusal Blade into, you know, big damage builds. Shredding through people. And Trick the Trade, does that care about Windrun at all? Do you still just hit through it?
I think, I can't remember. I'm not really a Ricky spammer. I can't remember if it hits. I think it misses still.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure that Trick still misses, but I haven't tested it. But
we'll
this mid matchup is gonna be very easy, I would say, for Ricky. It's not a bad one at all against the Invoker. No matter what build the Invoker decides to go, if it goes Exvert or Quaswex, I'd say this is a Quaswex type game. But we'll see exactly how Kiyotaka wants to run it.
Yeah, I guess you got the options with, you know, the fact you've got Roar and Shackle Shot. There are ways to set up Sunstrike in both of your side lanes potentially. But I think they're just having Quaswex against these strength cores, Timbersaw, CK, both heavily reliant on their mana, being able to, you know, disengage and mess around with how that Moonlight Shadow interacts with you, trying to get these ganks going. But before we start off, game one coming right up around the corner, we've got a quick video from EGB.
Bets on esports, bets on streamers, impressive bonus system. Welcome bonus up to $600, cashback, artifacts, regular promotions, daily giveaways. Try yourself as a bookmaker. Great lines. EGB.com, more than just a bookmaker.
And in we go. Perfect timing. Had a little pause there. Ricky spamming his chat lines while prolong the inevitable and get ourselves into the laning stage and kick things off with one move already smoking out across the map.
Yeah, they're heading out, and on the side of 9Pandas doesn't look like they want to go quite as fast here. Don't buy the first smoke, but just gonna move out. And still, one move aren't really going together as five, so this is less of a kill attempt and more aggressive warding. But he's gonna get spotted. He wanted to... okay, he doesn't drop the ward because of that. He dropped the ward on the way out, though.
Yeah, nearly walked up into a Sky Invoker. Everybody up there.
I think they realized that he warded, though. There's still the bug, by the way, where you can see if the enemy plant a ward in Fog of War after they run out. So he did wait until he ran out of the dire vision, then planted his ward. But if any single player on 9Pandas still had him selected, they would see the ward disappear in his inventory the moment that happened. So they should be aware, if they did click him there, that there's a sentry or a ward within very short area of where he left vision.
Yeah, so probably pretty good idea. It's definitely on the sort of southeast side of the lane. We'll see if they can bring some sentries out to de-ward that.
Yeah.
So we're sending Timbersaw top and 4 heroes. Yeah, down bottom for one move, just going to be safeguarding those 2 bounty runes. No messing around from 9Pandas, sticking very tight together as 5. 2 for 2 to kick things off.
Yeah, nice little start. I like the levels of mind games in Dota, though, because you can abuse that mechanic, by the way, and just drop the ward on the ground after you walk out of what you know is enemy vision, and then they think you warded. You know, it goes deep. It goes deep.
Start messing with you. Get into the game theory of it. Like, what did he actually do? So exalt level 1 for the Invoker. Try and get that attack damage buffed up a little bit against this Riki. 66 against, or is it 64? So Invoker not too far behind with a little bit of stat items he's got for himself too. Already queuing up the Hand of Midas as well. Kiyotaka knows exactly what he wants.
Yeah. Spamming the
Getting under
invoke.
Yeah.
APM spamming.
Getting under the skin. Like, that would piss me off. Like, what's he doing? Stop casting Invoke. You don't need to.
They used to give magic stick charges. I was against someone spamming that. He had 20 stick charges immediately.
Back in the old days.
We'll see how well Solo can be able to zone this Timbersaw as well. If he can shut down the impact of this Timber early on. Using his Undying, of course. Should normally win the lanes really hard. That's what you get when you pay for an Undying in the pick phase. He doesn't have fantastic impact later on, but his laning stage is one of the strongest, if not the single strongest in all of Dota.
Incredibly powerful. I mean, 9Pandas, they do hit level 2 a little earlier, pushing this wave in towards the Radiant side. Career snipe there from Ramses as well. Definitely making life hard for Gilgear and Afterlife. Gets a pull into large camp too.
Cheeky play. Yeah, by pushing this aggressively, they secure themselves this pull. Don't think they're going to be able to farm the creeps though.
It does mean that Ramsey's free farming and Timbersaw trying to gather up whatever he can as Munkushi taking first blood there on the squishy Scarrath Mage. As we were saying, gonna have some problems against all this damage.
Yeah, one of the highest kill potential dual lanes that you can ask for, CM plus CK. You have so much repositioning the enemies, slowing them, stunning them, freezing them. There's really no way to survive for Scarrath if you get a little bit too close. At least he gets a full mana reset there, but not really a great start for him.
As at level 2 critical mass, like Crystal
lane.
Maiden, level 2 feels incredible. An Afterlife, the blood grenade on him, the Sunstrike to finish it. Kiyotaka from across the map, securing the kill to help him out. Not struggling as much as maybe I'd expect against this Riki. When do things get hard for this Invoker?
I think it starts out pretty easily. He did lane pretty nicely so far though, and Kiyotaka is doing a good job. I think it gets harder in general as Riki gets level 6. Like, at that point, you struggle to show up. It also comes down a little bit to item build. Riki could have gone more stats and he would be more competent at lasting, but instead he's gone for this Ring of Health into early Meme Hammer build, which is something Thompson has been doing a lot, for instance. And that's more of a power spike build. You wait, you're not that strong right now, but you'll get powerful once you have the entire thing. And the health regen does really help him.
Yeah, just stays out on the map, help out, push a tower when you can. Sort of bridge that gap into the Diffuser Blade and the scaling items a little later on. Gilgear, I'm just trying to do what he can here, Starstorming Ramses and getting up in his face, protecting Timbersaw, but so far looking at the CS board, Dire winning across the board as Pantomime going to get sniped out there. Sunstrike doesn't land, but CK turns and fires Antares, gets the trade kill. And trying to whack into Miero as well. A couple more axes going to come his way.
Yeah, Miero has a big magic stick ready as well, so can't really keep fighting him here. And he might just use it to keep the stacks going. He's got 8 stacks now on the CK. He did use it.
Scary times. Oh, Shackle Shot catching 2 creeps up top. I thought it was meant to prioritize heroes. Afterlife is just like, I'm not going to get touched by that nonsense.
No, they changed it actually. It always prioritizes the closest target behind the unit shackled.
Okay.
So whichever unit is a viable target and the closest behind the target that you shackled on is always going to be the one to get shackled.
All these stinky creeps getting in the way of my shackle shots.
Exactly, yeah. It can really mess with you though, because normally you thought, oh, that would be a hero shackle, but now no, it's a little bit different in priority now.
Always a learning experience. There's so many rules and exceptions in Dota 2. Gotta keep up with things.
It can be a headache sometimes, man.
I'm glad I've got you here, or else I'll just be telling lies. I'm just telling lies all the time.
I've played Dota for like 2 decades. I feel now that I'm this old, it's like a downside to have known all these different interactions that are now gone. It's like, wait, what year is it? How does it work?
I've got to unlearn all the stuff before you can actually learn the new stuff coming in.
Yeah.
Solo, and continuing this nice position forward. Drop the tombstone, safeguard the large camp, which is multi-stacked up. Farm through that and the wave at the same time. And you just see how careful Afterlife and Gilgir are being. They don't really want to step too far forward, get decayed up and run out by the Wind Ranger. But I guess now they've got a double wave of creeps up in her face, they can start pressing forward a little further.
Yeah, at least try to get those CS. You need to, you know, be as competitive as possible for all the CSing in lane. When there's this many melee creeps, he's kind of shielded by them. You can just go in here and get a CS. He's gonna go for the Vanguard on Timbersaw. Bottom lane, we see another attempt here. Miero.
Yeah. Concussive shot slows them down enough. Ranger ups up on the CK as well. Going to be protecting him against all that magic damage that this dire offlane brings. And now they've spotted Sky. On Kushi, straight forward with the help of Pantomime. Get the reality rift dragged back. Ooh, nearly healed himself up enough to get into the tree line. The final touch is there. And CK with a killing spree. This bottom lane is super dangerous.
CK does so much damage to Sky. Again, comes back to that 0 starting armor, right? He has 1 armor now at level 3 with stat items. The hero just takes a fantastic amount of physical damage, and he's got level 2 on those crits, level 3 now on the Chaos Strike, maxing it out for not only sustainability, but of course kill potential.
And he's given up on that bot lane, and Terrence is up top now. Looking at Afterlife, but the Shackle Shot doesn't connect on the tree behind him. Blood Grenade and the Sunstrike coming will take down the Timbersaw in the end with this Arcane Bolt flying. Ramsey's probably wants the last touch, but Solo, he gets the kill in the end. In the meantime, Miero in a 1v2 kills the Crystal Maiden down bottom, but they're still diving top. Gilgir, he's got a couple of leap charges and 6-1 charges as well, but meets his end in that top spot.
Oh, look at Ricky. He made a rotation over. They thought that they were going to be able to steal Wisdom Rune after they kill Gilgir, but now Ricky is here, gets the Wisdom Rune, gets the kill on Antares as well for even more experience. Fantastic move by Aincrad coming over there.
Yeah, shows his face up top and stops them in their tracks. So Miero gets the Eastern, the dire Wisdom Rune.
He's setting up with Meteor Hammer. They don't see it.
Ramsey, he's going to get clipped by it. Gets the wind run off in time, though, as the smoke screen was a little delayed.
They don't have Jack Arm yet. No level 6 on Timbersaw, otherwise that could have been a setup for a kill, but he's going to head back towards mid lane.
Giving a bit of breathing room here to Kiyotaka, though. I guess his Hand of Midas, pre-8 minutes, going to be feeling... He's top of the net worth, this Invoker.
It's great timing, very early. He's a happy Exort Invoker and soon about to have 4 points in Quas and in Exort. So those double Forge Spirits coming out soon.
I'm so glad they brought that back. Crystal Maiden. Poking at Solo here. Aincrad wants to get involved, and the arrow going to get dodged by him. Scraped past the backside of the Undying. And I think every active rune has been... Like, I know Kiyotaka's denied an Invis, an Illusion, and 1 or 2 water runes with these Forge Spirits. He's been really making sure no runes are being had by one move.
Yeah, that's because Invoker is way too slow to move for runes himself, so just sending his Forge Spirits to kill them instead. If I can't have them, no one will. It's a good mentality. I also think it's important that he still has Sentry Wards on mid or bottom.
Oh, the Roar into Sunstrike. That's a lot of magic damage burst, but the CK had a pretty decent one there. Tombstones drop down. Pantomime, Gilgir trying to focus it. They do get the kill, but they lose the Maiden. Diving deep here, 9Pandas.
Now Ricky's
coming. TP. Oh yeah, Aincrad arrives. He spots a couple of juicy targets, and Ramsey has come through from that bottom side. Now Aincrad's wondering, where's the rest of my team? Do I go in on Solo? No, he stopped the Meteor Hammer. Blinks in, arrow lands on the Sky, but now they're in a tough spot. Miero can start stacking up these wild axes, and they've got a bit of reveal here, but again, the Shackle Shot not finding a target behind it.
Oof. Oh, that's rough right there. That's a pretty big impact, and I think I would say that this channel time, right? You just have to make sure that you get the full channel out.
He does land it on the Invoker mid. Frostbite to follow through, but Kiyotaka incredibly tanky. Will allow the turnaround play, and another arrow slides in behind them. And protect the Invoker, back themselves up. As it looks like Afterlife has had a bit of free time top, gets to 3,000 net worth. And trying to force the creep wave onto tower, but Ramses drags it away.
They're making nice moves overall. Like, one move are trying to be aggressive and play the map, but I think what they need more is get those D-wards on mid so they can take the mid tower with Ricky. When you go Meteor Hammer, you want to do building damage. A lot of it, of course, is Ricky can gank and you can Meteor Hammer from Invis, right? Instead, he's the one being chased mid.
Yeah, dusted up. chased by 2 supports.
Haste.
Big kill.
That was a big haste rune to find for Skywrath.
So looking at Ramsey's top, Frostbite into Arrow should be here as long as no creeps get in the way. So Ramsey's all caught up in the chakram damage. A good snipe there on him, and that should lead to a bit more pressure on the tower. But in the meantime, you've just lost your tier 1 mid.
Yeah, it was a clean gank, but their building damage just isn't the same as this catapult plus double Forge Spirit mid with the tombstone to take the aggro off all the time. Gives a little bit of space for CK to hit creeps, but while he's doing that, though, the Beastmaster's happily just farming stacks jungle. They prepared a lot, and he's gonna go for the illusion counter, rushing Aghanim Scepter first item. The illusions, of course, do heal fully for Beastmaster, as though he was Aghanim's hitting a hero.
I've had a few of those funny moments of Beastmaster against Phantom Lancer, just sustaining forever. Yeah, so a nice little UI there showing up on the screen. 7 camps stacked for the Dire, 5 for the Radiant, and a lot more priority put on stacking camps since that XP change.
Definitely. I wouldn't even mind seeing the CM, by the way, in this game. Just go over and clear the stacks that they have on Radiant here once they're complete. They don't have great heroes for taking the stacks. Like, CK doesn't do it that well.
CK, can he toggle? No, he can't. Raw Mystic Flare combo while up at top, the Undying in a 1v4. Solo just scouting out in front of his carry Wind Ranger, spotting the gank coming, tanking it for Ramses. Papa Solo doing the job to protect his son, but Ramses stuck around a little bit there, loses Solo's courier, but will disengage with the Wind Run.
Yeah, he can get away, he's still safe enough. Gonna go back and farm up the jungle a little bit. Meanwhile, bottom not being defended, and the Beastmaster undefended usually takes towers really fast, so they're moving down here. They want to stop him.
Try and bring numbers. The 3 heroes going to try and meet him. Mancusi and Pantomime can't quite close the gap. They'll get the boar instead. Throw a stun at it to make damn sure. Decent amount of commitment though. I think they protect their tier 1, so job well done in the end, I guess.
Yeah, you don't want to start falling behind more in like important towers. Mid tower is a really big take for 9Pandas here. If you lose your station in tower as well, all you really have is that off lane to play for. So they're trying to hold on bottom.
Things looking a bit rough there in the odds as well. 6.5 to 1.1. 9Pandas, 2k lead, a couple of kills ahead. And Antares with Solo, 2 supports, playing forward in front of Miero, losing one of them.
Yeah, they have a nice amount of vision down here on bottom to play this area. This does free up the Windrunner and the Invoker more to just completely free farm and get what they want. And looks like Invoker is full reading it, going for the Octarine core straight after Midas here. He just wants that CDR, get more Midas usages, scale even harder.
Hell yeah.
They're taking this game late.
When he first said that, I thought he was going Midas Boot to travel, because that used to be the super greedy build. But yeah, Octarine core, good shout. Afterlife's Timbersaw. Also got Vanguard, Arcane Soul Ring, so plenty of sustain to just stay out on the map, continue and lapping up the farm that's left to him. Nobody here from 9Pandas really wants to press out into the top left corner of the map right now.
Yeah.
As like you're saying, they're all pretty protected back on their side in their jungle.
Yeah, I think 9Pandas are doing a great job with their supports moving overall. Now we see 1 move here, 9 move. Again, moving towards mid, smoking up the CM, the Ricky, and the Mirana. Maybe they want to go towards Timber and make more kills around him.
Yeah, could definitely try to do it. Ironcrad's been using this Meteor Hammer to start chipping away at tier 1. We did see about a minute ago a good glyph to block some of that damage coming in. And now they've seen Kiyotaka. They're farming away in this little jungle spot.
It's a huge kill if they can get him.
And Crystal Maiden started off with a Frostbite. TPs are coming in now from 9Pandas, but Kiyotaka looks pretty dead under the smoke screen and the tricks of the trade. Mystic Flare is there to kill the Maiden, and in comes the Wind Ranger. Slays the Ricky. 2-for-1 trade out.
It's a big punishment, but they also moved 5 heroes there, right? Well, they had Invoker there, and then they move every single hero there to punish. So it's a 2-for-1, but Timber and CK both farming side lanes at the same time, and you took down the Invoker, the most farmed hero on the map. I would say that was still a good kill for 1 move, and definitely a necessary rotation.
It feels very, very patient. You said it in the draft, 9Pandas kind of slowing down the tempo of the game, waiting to scale and get these big key items up on their Invoker and the Wind Ranger. Is it going to be a case of we get Wind Ranger BKB and they'll snap into action, or are they just comfortable going super late game here?
No, I think they will play towards timings. They just hit one timing with Beastmaster, so he has Aghanims complete, and we should see them play a little bit more around him, as he's now very, very powerful, and they want to get this tower. The bottom safe lane tower here has to be broken down. That's 9Pandas objective. I think Windrunner might even TP down bottom. He has Maelstrom complete.
Dire's middle tower.
It's very likely that he TPs here and just helps out. Pushing it without him might be risky.
Right, definitely could be with that catapult getting sniped by the Gilgir Marana. High ground vision. Advantage to the Dire as they press forward. Mystic Flare, now the counteracting Freezing Field, slowing Antares to a crawl. They drop the Tombstone on the high ground too to make sure they can fight around this spire in the jungle. Ironcrad looking like he's lurking on the sidelines, but now his Maiden's dead. Doesn't want to get too involved.
Yeah, that was a nice setup there by Skyrath going in. Sky might be in trouble to Ricky though, coming for a sneaky pickoff.
Oh yeah, just one shot with a Blink Strike.
This area is so nice for Ricky that he's running into now, because it's a dead end if you go down into the water there. So if someone chases you, you can just trickster a trade over, and obviously heroes without mobility can't chase you anymore. So it's a great place to run down, to hide and get away from people.
Yeah, nobody's got Tumbler's... Oh, Sky is the only one with Tumbler's Toy. Stand corrected. Oh, Sunstrike top with the Shackle Shot setup. Afterlife focused down by Ramses. Pretty close to a solo kill there. Now clipping level 13 as Miero does get taken out down bottom. Ricky and CK pairing up, packing a punch. And Solo's undying. He's in this Flash Golem mode, so incredibly tanky. But that Mystic Flare off the mark as they had no further control to lock down the Ricky. Now Ramses is in with a great Shackle Shot though. Tornado catching onto CK with a Cold Snap and the damage. They've got him. Vision still lingering here on the Ricky. They've dusted him up for quite some time. And there's the takedown.
A little bit of a mistake by Ricky. He didn't get off the Trickster trade before the slow came in there. Could maybe have stayed alive, but again, good fight here for 9Pandas. Nice rotations. They bring enough heroes, and finally they're going to get that big objective in the bottom tower. And also, Ramses getting this double kill puts him really close to the full BKB. He's going to have it with this creep wave, and I don't think anyone can fight him now. They don't really have the type of heroes that fight into a BKB.
Oh my god. Yeah. Oh, it just disappears the Marana.
He gets a tip for that one. He was staying in a very dangerous area after the tower was taken down, and it just gets punished. Bonus kill there for Ramses.
Yeah, not a safe place to be. And Kiyotaka gets a juicy wave top that was pushed in by the Timber. Afterlife looking towards that Aghanim Scepter. So you were talking about dispels. Tornado just takes off, right?
Yeah, it does. It does. That would be an immediate way for them to get rid of it. That is the only dispel they have available right now, but I mean, one is enough.
Oh, cancels the chain with a Cold Snap. Great combo of spells from Kiyotaka, and now helped out by Antares with a Mystic Flare. It's a very tanky Timber Saw. Let's see if they've got enough mana. Nah, they've run out of resources.
A little bit low.
In the meantime, Ramses, with his freshly purchased BKB, gets on top of Pantomime. Ironcrad Invis was dusted up, it looked like, but gets himself a bit of distance as they turn with an arrow. Not enough firepower there to kill Solo, though.
You know, it's interesting because it was something that I was thinking about myself recently, and I played one game of this. He didn't put a single point in power shot on Windrunner. I did this as well, went for the Windrun and Shackle Shot only, and I believe that this is just going to be a stats skill up as well for Universal Hero later on. So yeah, he already has quite a few points in it.
Yeah, 5 points in stats. Sunstrike in the mid, Mankushi, and caught out. Beastmaster banging his drum and pressing forward. Afterlife trying to hold the line here, but look at Ramses come on in. Shackle Shots to stop the Timber chain, and Kiyotaka going to TP in with his freshly purchased boot to travel to finish off the job. Timber down, 2 core heroes obliterated, and 9Pandas looking incredible 20 minutes in. Oh, I heard a Sunstrike in the back as well. Gilgir nearly got sniped.
I have to talk about this a little bit more because it's so curious. But the 5 points they put in stats for Windrunner here, obviously it can look like griefing, right? Not having your nuke. But when you think about it, that is 21 damage for Universal Hero if you take 5 point stats, due to getting 0.7 damage per stat number. And also increases, of course, his survivability, just being a little bit tankier. You get armor, get some HP, and you have less mana problems. He's going to have no mana item at all in his item build, and still his mana is going to be fine with this. The only downside is not having that AoE nuke and that long-range nuke, of course.
Yeah, I mean, tanking up feels real good against the CK. And I mean, one move have got a lot of burst damage, right? Just tanking up in general.
They do.
Roshan
They do.
time?
They have burst, but they don't have the great way to deal with Ramses right now because their stun initiations are either Mirana landing an arrow or CK stunning. And CK stun is never going to connect on Windrunner. She can always react with BKB. So it's tough to say how they should kill this Wind Ranger. And right now, one move are going to have to play for future timing. They need to keep farming up and get some way to take the fights, basically. Like, down the road, they could have hexes, they could have items, but right now, they just do not have a tool for him.
I'm going to try and wait for this Ricky to get, like, Daedalus MKB or something. 9Pandas, they've rebuffed the efforts of one move to get into that top jungle. A scan, it reconnects onto Ricky. Let's see if they can dust him up. They do. Tricks the trade, and a blink strike to Pantomime gets him away from the danger that was coming. And he is in love with that chat wheel line.
Yep.
Wisdom runes.
Wisdom runes are
Go get him.
Nobody took it yet. Looks like CM is just gonna get her own. Meanwhile, 9Pandas is playing so aggressively right now. They understand their timing, so instead of playing back and taking their own Wisdom rune, they are looking to get more. They want tier 2 towers, they want more of the map. They're getting greedy with it now, and they should. They are currently in the driver's seat of this game entirely, and one move, they gotta find an out. It's not really about making a play, it's just finding a way to get back into the game.
So are you relying on 9Pandas to like make a mistake and dive too deep?
Almost, yeah. They're in a horrible spot right now. This is not really about net worth lead. Obviously, there's a 9k net worth lead for 9Pandas, but it's almost a binary thing. It's like either you can fight or you can't. And the way I see it right now, with the Wind Ranger being so strong, she doesn't even want the Aegis. She gives it to Invoker instead. You just can't fight her right now unless you get some miracle initiation where you have like an Invis CK or something.
So those options you have of like, oh god, yeah, disintegrates. So then the options you have, if you take one of them out, which is fighting, you've got trying to split push and force objectives elsewhere. And they try and do that up at the top with 3-4 heroes there, and it's just Kiyotaka on his own for now, making sure that they've got to scatter and run. A bit of a wraparound from Ramses and Solo coming through the ancient spot to clear out that little bit of farm. Maybe a catch on Pantomime still. Does frostbite the Invoker, but chased into the trees by the Forge Spirits. They should be able to finish him off, and in the meantime, Mystic Flare with a roar, Miero and Antares in the back. Get the takedown on him.
He actually gets out on CM, manages to TP.
Really?
Since both the Cold Snap and the Tornado were already used. Kiyotaka didn't really hard commit at first because he didn't know how many players were there. By the time he did hard commit, he had already wasted the Cold Snap and Tornado. So CM finds a good timing to just TP away.
Yeah, the Timbersaw dies, sadly for them. It's very systematic now, right? Tier 2 bot into mid, sweeping through the jungles, making sure that this map... it wasn't super tight 30 seconds ago, but with one move... Okay, with one general move, yes, a singular movement from 9Pandas, they just completely close everything off.
True. And Gilgir might be in trouble again here. Windrunner, he's gotten him so many times already. Has the Gleipnir. He went Invis. Not gonna be able to find him anymore here.
Yeah, no reveal. Uncrant's there as well.
Trying for the Miracle Arrow initiation. They know that Ricky can't really start, then Windrunner just presses BKB.
Even trying to cut waves. Ramsey's still hunting. Oh, that Sunstrike. Nearly giving him the vision he needed to find the Wind Ranger.
I think what we're seeing right now is also the impact of Beastmaster. Like, of course, Windrunner and Invoker, both of them are super strong, but Beastmaster, he's done everything that he needs this game, and he's providing that vision with a Hawk, allowing them to chase so much. This is where the game is getting real tricky. You lost all your towers against the Beast. Map vision is there. They're out on the map, and they are in danger.
They've spotted Kiyotaka. Oh, he blinks into the middle of them. He's all alone, but he does have that Aegis. Second life available for this Invoker, and the rest of 9Pandas swarming. The Invoker still hasn't died yet the first time, never mind the second, and Ramses arrives with a Mystic Flare and a Focus Fire. The Timbersaw doesn't last long. Pantomime yet again TPing out in the tree line to escape, but poor Afterlife having a torrid time. They're getting picked off over and over again.
Yeah, 9Pandas will very happily take that trade as well, as the Aegis was just about to time out soon, so Making an aggressive move and 15,000 gold lead right now. One move, anytime they try to get out on the map, 9Pandas are just quickly getting there and shutting them down. Now they're finding a little bit of farm here on top, but it won't take long to see rotations. Solo is alone though. If they punish this, that should be a nice kill.
Yeah, it should be. He's already used his 4 staff. And Pavis not going to save him either.
Yeah. Should also get the D ward as they saw where he walked in and put the ward. Sentry's coming out soon. The blink on CK was a good call, by the way, I think, because this allows them to maybe get that initiation of blink stunning. If people don't react in time on the Invoker or the Wind Ranger, if they don't get the BKBs out, then you could follow up. Then you have the arrow follow up, and you could definitely kill them. They needed something to allow them to initiate like this.
There's so many ways of counter initiation here from 9Pandas. You jump on the Wind Ranger or the Invoker, they've got this Roar, the Mystic Flare. Damage output is very scary. Now look at this Beastmaster, he's banging his drum, but he's going Bloodstone. I mean, incredibly tanky. He just can't go on Miero, he's going to have 3,000 HP and all this spell heal coming in as Gilgil leaps away twice into the Moonlight Shadow. Scurrying away from the tornado, but they've got a bit of reveal here. The dust over the top, the cold snap forces the Greaves very early on in the fight, and there's the combo. They do jump in with Mankushi though, but look at this Beastmaster standing his ground. A lot of damage, bursting him down. They get the kill on him, but the shackle shot on the Ricky. Turning and focusing onto the mid laner. Aincrad pops his manta, but still dies in the end. And a well-placed tombstone. A double kill for Ramses, and the Timbersaw chased by zombies. Solo's there to get it on top of him. Sunstrike and all the damage in the world will burst him down. One move. Looking very sad now.
I want to point out something that happened there. That's a huge buff, by the way, to an item in Dota right now, and that is Dust. So the initiation there, they dusted the Mirana. He used Greaves to try and dispel it, but he did dispel it, but the AoE dust is still there, so it immediately reapplied because he didn't move out of the AoE enough. So they could still see him, and they just kill him. The old dust would not have stayed on him there, but this was a little bit of a misplay by Gilgir. He needed to either use Greaves and immediately leap away to try and create some distance, or just keep running for a little while and then use the Greaves after he gets out of the dust AoE. Either way, he used his buyback and they don't really get anything. Another fantastic fight for 9Pandas, and it's just starting to look more and more hopeless here for one move.
Yeah, really becoming a one-way street. Yeah, we're looking for outs for one move. You know, think about the big items that potentially coming, but it's really far down the pipeline for them. And Nullifiers queued up by Ricky, but he's not got any gold really saved up for it. And 9Pandas, a bit of a chip there onto CK, forcing Manta out of Aincrad as well. And not an uncomfortable situation to be in whatsoever. Just pressing forward.
Yeah, they have that gem now, of course, on Wind Ranger as well, so running in with Aghanims and gem. Very nice for her. She can be invis, but also reveal anything around and can reveal if there's sentries to spot her. It's very difficult to kill. And even if you do have detection now to go on the Wind Ranger when she runs in with Aghanims, if CK is attacking her, that 50% damage reduction is going to keep her alive really well, as long as the Wind Run is on.
So, okay, which hero is killable on the dire side?
Skywrath and Undying can be killed,
okay.
But, you know, as for the core heroes, I just don't see it with what you have right now. You're working on a Nullifier on Ricky to try and deal with the Wind Ranger's Wind Run, but for some reason, I don't know why it works this way, the 50% damage reduction does not disappear.
Oh.
That's actually a separate thing. And she also doesn't get revealed. She's still invis, even if you dispel the Wind Run.
Really?
Yes, it's apparently two separate Wind Run effects. One is dispellable, one is not.
Okay.
So she will not have evasion, and she will not have the movement speed, but she will be invis, and she will have damage reduction. I don't know, man. Don't ask me. That's just how it works.
That's just how. Oh, great shackle shot. Yeah, I mean, this is lights out, honestly. No buyback on Ricky. Pantomime getting sunstruck. Afterlife. Oh, it's just trying to chakra to slow them down, but you're losing your buildings at such a drastic rate here. I see CK. He's out on the map trying to farm Ancients and get what he can. Just let this go.
Bloodthorn. We want to try and get some True Strike at least to maybe be able to kill this Wind Ranger somehow, but it's so desperate. 30 seconds, no Ricky here, and the Alacrity is pushing real fast. Beastmaster, of course, as well, amplifying this push so hard. He even has the drums, so the attack speed is massive.
On a Gleipnir. Crystal Maiden. Not someone they want to go diving tier 4s to try and kill, but Kiyotaka sees the Mirana. Does leap away in time, pops the Greaves, gets a bit of distance.
Middle tower.
While this is all happening, it's smoke and mirrors. Distracting them down in the southern side while they take the racks in the mid, and now the jump
That's
in.
the dispel.
Tornado and Raw overlapping a bit, and the Aghanim Scepter of Timbersaw, it did absolutely nothing. Woeful time for Afterlife as the CK does get a jump in onto the Undying, tricks the trade, a bit of damage on Solo, killing him off, but look at how much Monkushi's taking in the trade-off. Gilgir and Monkushi both running away, while Pantomime is left to his own devices and dies. A second lane of barracks there for 9Pandas, and buybacks out of the Radiant, just trying to hold the line.
Those buybacks are so painful because they can just back on 9Pandas. They have no real stake in this. They can just back out and say, okay, that hurt you more than it hurts us. You get absolutely nothing for your buybacks. We finish up even more items. 26,000 gold lead. 9Pandas are not messing around. They're just here to get the clean win. And this is looking very dominant so far.
Yeah, it's always one of those interesting situations where it's kind of doom and gloom. Would love to listen into the comms of one move to hear what's going on, what's their plan, what's their idea.
Right now, I can tell you, it's one last fight. Like this is the Hail Mary. Let's go. We smoke out. They're going. They know that the enemy are probably taking Roche, and now they're just looking for possibly a good opening into the fight.
Yeah,
This is all
scan on
desperation.
scan. DD Wind Ranger. And look at 9Pandas playing with their vision.
And
Moonlight
Tara's
Shadow.
positioning.
Oh, they caught a glimpse of them. They saw the Timber and the Maiden moving into the trees. Tombstone well placed. And now the move in. Kiyotaka with the help of the Mystic Flare. The Maiden nearly dead. And in comes the Timbersaw. Yuled up yet again. They've lost Aincrad immediately to Ramses. And Monkushi is trapped in a 1v3. Has no backup, no help whatsoever. Afterlife being zoned and bullied by Invoker and Skywrath Mage. And there it is. It's called GG 32 minutes in. And 9Pandas yet again just showing the prowess they've got, how skillful they can be, and why they are at the top of this region Division 1.
Yeah, fantastic showing here and good understanding. I mean, they were on top of everything that was about to transpire in this match. They were prepared for everything that One Move had in store. The Aghanims on Timbersaw was completely countered both by Invoker's existence, but also by the Yule Scepter they bought up on the Skywrath. They knew exactly what was going to happen. I personally don't think that Aghanims should be dispellable. I think it completely, nullifies the item as even in existence. Like, why would you ever go for it then? Way too many different sources of dispel in Dota. And if you pay 4,200 gold and it just gets removed like that, I don't know. So to me, it seems very strange that it's dispellable, but because of that mechanic, it's a risky move to go and hinge your hopes and dreams on it. So it worked out in a previous game that One Move played, but against 9Pandas, they just know about this interaction, abuse it, immediately dispels it twice there in big team fights. But on top of that, it was not really just about that little thing. It was all the details in this game. 9Pandas just felt like they were one step ahead, and all their cores unkillable from minute 10 or something. They just could not be killed. There were no rotations that could possibly kill the Wind Ranger, the Invoker, or even the Beastmaster.
Yeah, I mean, I'm looking at the endgame graphs of like player net worth and stuff, and just in the first 10 minutes, that Crystal Maiden CK lane looked really strong, getting a few kills. Ricky's moves up to top looked decent as well. At least getting some trades out of these ganks and moves out of the Sky and the Undying. But once we get to the 20th minute, we suddenly have this massive chasm between the core heroes, where you have Dire having 3 heroes at the top, Beastmaster overtaking the Ricky and the CK, and that was it. Basically, 20 minutes in, the game was close to over. But One Move just trying to give it every shot they've got to try and scrape victories through. As game 1, it will go to 9Pandas. A very straightforward one for them. We'll find out after this break whether or not One Move can come back. We'll see you then.